So, welcome to Uncut Africa Live. A channel that brings you great content coming from all corners of Africa. Today, this is the first time I'm introducing this program on this channel, and I know you are going to enjoy it because we are going to discuss very important issue concerning Ghana. Ghana, and when I say Ghana, Ghana is where I am at the moment. And I have my brother with me who is also a Ghanaian based in UK. His name is Daniel Vanderpoy. We are going to discuss about the Ghana Museum, a Ghana Cathedral, National Cathedral. Sorry, there is this. How should I put it? There is this controversy which is going on in Ghana, and this controversy has taken over for the last 6 years since Ghana President Nana Addo came to power. Before he came to power, after he came to power, he decided to build a national cathedral, and this was not part of his manifesto or his policy. But after he became the president, he decided to come up to build a national cathedral. And the reason he wanted to build this national cathedral is he promised God that when he becomes president in Ghana, he's going to build this cathedral for, for God. So after he came to power, he decided to build, he decided to go ahead and present this idea to Parliament for them to help him build this cathedral. Sadly, we all thought the Ghana president was going to use his own pocket money because you promised God to build this cathedral for him. Then, as time goes on, we realize he has taken the cathedral, this national cathedral bill, to the Parliament House, for them to help him build this cathedral. And the budget of this cathedral is 400 million US dollars. After it came out, a lot of people were very concerned about this particular thing because Ghana lacks a lot of infrastructures. Ghana lacks a lot of infrastructures. And we realized with this 400 million US dollars, it can do a lot of things to the Ghanaian society. So we were very concerned about it. It has been a whole controversy. They set up a committee, and up to last week, a lot of committee members has resigned from the board because some of them, it doesn't sit well with some of them. A lot of people are talking. That is why I've brought this issue for us to discuss. And I cannot discuss with no other than a friend of mine who knows a lot on this issue. So, Mr. Daniel Vanderpoy, welcome to my channel on Catch Africa.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank
Yes.
you so much. And thank you. I greet everybody from UK to Ghana, all over the world, wherever every viewer is watching us from.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the topic that you brought is very, very sensitive and is very, very important as well.
Yeah.
Looking at a country like Ghana, who has um, a deficit in infrastructure, even
Yeah.
when we take only school buildings for from pupils from class 1 to JHS free, you realize there are a lot to be done by the government when it comes to school infrastructure alone.
Yes.
Now, here comes a president who won an election over um, with over 1 million votes,
Yeah.
who made a lot of promises to the Ghanaian community during his campaign. he made a lot of promises. So
Yeah.
people were happy to see him become president.
Yeah.
After being sworn in as the president of the republic, he came out to tell the Ghanaian people that he is going to build a cathedral. We have a lot of Christians in Ghana, no doubt
Yeah.
about that. But for a president to say he's going to build a cathedral is a misplaced priority. Looking
Yeah.
at the things that we need in the country, I don't think the cathedral was something that the country needed. If you look at the money that they've invested in building the cathedral,
Yeah.
it is very sad that a country that we don't have desk for students to sit on in classroom. We are spending 400 million to build a church. We already have more churches. We
Yeah.
already have enough churches in the country. So I don't see the reason why we should spend another money which could be used into something more important.
Yeah. True.
$400 million is the budget for the building. Now they've spent 58 million out of the 400 million. And out of the $58 million,
Yeah.
28 million went into the drawings or the architectural designs of the building.
Serious.
So let's take only the $28 million. And if we are to use that money alone to build classrooms for schools, we are talking about not less than 30 to 50 schools for 6 unit classrooms,
Yeah.
which will be fully furnished. And we've used this money to build a church to a God that we've never seen.
Yeah.
And who even told them or told the president that God lives in a building? And even who gave him that opportunity to build that house or that building for God? If you are talking about the Israel God that we all know, he doesn't accept things from anybody just like that. You can't just come from your hometown and say, I'm going to build a house for God. In the Bible, when David wanted to build a house for God, God told him, no, you can't build a house for me. God rejected the house that David wanted to build for him. And he said, you cannot build it because you are not clean. You don't qualify to build a house for me. So it's Solomon who was able to build the house for God. You can't just get up and say, I'm going to build, I made a promise to God.
That.
Whilst
That.
people are suffering,
Yeah.
people are suffering in your country. People don't get food to eat. People don't get good water to drink. People don't get enough bed to sleep on when they go to the hospital. You are going to build a church. So if somebody dies at the hospital because the person didn't get oxygen, are you serving God or you are serving Satan because of your act? It's not that you don't have the money, you have the money. So why don't you put the money at a place where it will save lives rather than to build a church where people will not even patronize? We have a lot of churches in Ghana already.
Yeah.
We have big churches, mega churches in Ghana, like the Dominion Center. We have ICGC, and we have Makers Chapel. All these are mega churches. Ask
Yeah.
me how much they spend to build or to construct those churches. If you go to the US, we have the National Cathedral, the St. Paul's and Peter's in Washington. It wasn't built by the state. It was built by the Episcopal Church. If you go to Romania, the Protestants are also building the National Cathedral, which is costing them about 185 million euros. It wasn't built by the state. It is in Bucharest. So why
Mm.
is it that we have to go and take money from our small budget, the small money that we have that cannot even feed us? We need other donors to come and help and support our budget every year. You get the money and you're going to build a church. And what baffles me is that the board of directors, they said they are going to create a Bible museum in the church. And my question is, if you want to buy a Toyota car, will
Yeah.
you go to the original Toyota company and buy your car, or you go to the roadside and buy it? If I
That's a
want
good
to know
question.
much about the Bible, I will go to the origin. I'll go to where I know that Christ was born. I don't need a replica of it. Even in Ghana now, people are going to Israel. Churches are organizing trips to Israel to see the
Yeah.
tomb of Jesus, to see where Lazarus was resurrected, to see the Dead Sea, and so on and so forth. So, why should I come to Ghana and look at the replica of something that I know is fake?
So
If you
let me
want to,
ask. So let me ask. So you think with Ghana current state, with our current state, because as it stands now, we just even joined the IMF, I think 3 months ago, and we joined IMF because of 3 billion US dollars. So as it stands now, Ghana don't have enough money in its coffers. So if you don't have enough money in its coffers, do you think you think? I think how you are going about it. You think Ghana don't need a national cathedral because as they normally say that it's also going to serve as a tourist center so that people will come and visit there and it's going to generate a lot of income for the country. So do you think? And Ghana has also introduced this year of return and year beyond return. So maybe it can also serve as a tourist center for people to come and visit there to make some cash for the country. Don't you think so?
it's a misplaced priority.
Yeah,
It's a misplaced priority. And I don't know the people who advise the president to go ahead and build that church. If you make a promise to God that you build a church for him if you become president,
yeah,
the president comes from the eastern region. He could have
yeah.
gone to this place, his hometown, or to Koforidua and build a church there. That one will be understandable. His children went to Asante Mampong, where his late wife comes from, to build a very nice library with a crèche and event center as something like a monument that people will use to remember the late wife of the president. He could have gone to his hometown to build a Presby church or a Catholic church or a Methodist church or any other church there. That one is also for God. But to bring down all the bungalows of the judges, all in the name of building a church for God, is a misplaced priority. Looking at the amount of money involved, it's not a good thing at all. And I don't think God in heaven is even happy. Because if you are building a church and somebody needs oxygen at the hospital, the person cannot get the oxygen and dies because of that. Technically, you are the one who killed the person. Because if you use that money to staff the hospitals, to give them all the necessary equipment that they need. Recently in Kolebu, they needed a dialysis machine. People were
Yeah,
dying because there wasn't any. And you are building a church. Doesn't even make sense. Here in the UK, most churches are being closed. Today is Sunday. If you are walking through the streets, you see Anglican churches being closed. Nobody is going there. Nobody's
yeah,
going there. They brought
that's
the
true.
Bible to us in Africa. Now they are closing their churches. If you go to Italy, an Italian will tell you, I go to church 3 times in my life. The day I will be christened in the church, the day I'll get married, and the day I'll die. They don't go
You
to church.
and some are even saying that as a country like Ghana, Ghana is a football country. It's a football nation.
Yes,
We have been going
yes,
to World Cup, making African proud, and even we are 4 times AFCON champion, African Cup of Nations. We are 4 times champion. And as it stands now, I think 4 months ago, few months ago, when we were playing our qualifiers,
qualifies. Yes,
the CAF people
CAF.
came around to check our stadiums, and none of our stadium met the standard of international stadia. So they nearly pushed Ghana to go and play its qualifiers in Ivory Coast. So as a
Yes,
country like Ghana, as a football nation, and we have been to the World Cup several times, and you hear all this, we don't have any proper stadia which we can compete or play international matches on it. And you hear and you realize we are going to build a national cathedral, which at the moment I would say is really not necessary because most of the churches have their own buildings. So
yes.
why can't we just focus on the main thing that the country need before investing 400 million to a cathedral?
Yeah, it's a misplaced priority, as I said. Even if he wanted to build a church, he
Yeah,
can he could have done that without using money from the state coffers.
yeah,
We have a
that's
lot
true.
of churches in Ghana. You could
Yeah,
have just create a platform, let's say a
yeah,
short code that if you want to support the National Cathedral or all
yeah,
churches, send 5 CDs, 1 CD to this short code.
yeah,
Then that money will go straight to the
mm,
coffers of the National Cathedral.
mm, mm. Yeah, true. That's true.
Even if you say you tell the churches that because of this National Cathedral, I want everybody to come on board. Every month, every church in Ghana should pay
Uh,
every church in Ghana should pay 100 CDs every month so that
that,
we use that money to build a national cathedral. Look at the
that's
number
true.
of churches in Ghana. We
That's
wouldn't
true.
need that money from states to build a national cathedral. And I'm very disappointed in the board of directors. If you look at those big men, well respected men of God who have been there since this thing started, they were defending it all the time.
Yeah,
Now it has come to bear that everything that people were saying, all the states, like the parliamentarian Akujeto Ablakwa and co, the things that they were saying about the mismanagement of the funds of the National Cathedral is true.
true.
So look at the embarrassment that has come upon some men of God. all because of this national cathedral. The Church of Pentecost, when they want to build their church, they go around the country and take the money from the church members. Look at the big buildings, the church buildings they've been building for themselves.
Yeah.
So if the whole nation wanted to build a national cathedral, it shouldn't come from the state. In other words, the state is not one religion state. We have
Yeah.
Muslims,
Yeah.
we
True.
have traditionalists, we
Yeah.
recently we have Hare Krishna and a whole lot of other religious sects. So why national cathedral? And you are using state money to build that national cathedral.
So you think
It's a
Africa?
misplaced priority.
You think Africans like our woes, like difficulties we face somehow? It seems like we misplace our priorities. So do you think religion plays a lot of our difficulties? Religion. Do you think religion, like this decision? Do you think religion has played a role of the president deciding on that particular building, that cathedral?
You see, I wouldn't say it's about religion.
Yeah.
Some people are very religious, but
Yeah.
they use their mind or their brains in the religion that they find
Yeah.
themselves. Some people also follow religion without using the wisdom or the knowledge that they have.
Yes. True.
You will see somebody will say, I'm a Christian, and in my religion or the denomination that I belong to, when we are sick, we don't take blood.
Yeah.
So when the person is sick and needs a blood transfusion, he or she will reject it and rather die instead of taking the blood
Yeah.
because of religion. So some people also will say, I go to church, but when I'm sick, I will take blood for me to live.
True.
So
True.
in Africa, most of especially the Christians,
Yeah.
some worship God out of ignorance.
That's true.
Some
That's
worship
true.
God because of the things that they will get or they expect God to do for them.
That's true.
No matter how powerful your pastor is, your pastor cannot fly to his house, or Holy Spirit cannot take your pastor from the church to his house.
Yeah.
So if you go to the church and you say, I'm going to pray for God to give me money without working, that money will not come. So
That's
as a
true.
country, building a cathedral will not change our woes and our frustrations and all the difficulties that we are facing. The church will not change it because we have a lot of churches already in the country, a lot, thousands of them. We need leadership that will drive the country forward and not backwards. Why should a president involve himself in religious activities? This is something for the church people to do. The bishops are there. You can call them to the Flagstaff house and tell them, this is what I said to God. I want you people to help me. Talk to your church members. Let us, but it shouldn't be something so huge, a monument that we will say, oh, this was built by our president in 2020 or 2023. It should be something, a long-term something that we say, okay, we are going to build this church. The little that we get from the churches, that's what we use to build the cathedral. There shouldn't be any seed money from the state. That is my problem. The
So
church building the cathedral is not bad on its own, but
yeah.
looking at the little money that we have as a country and spending such huge amount of money to build the cathedral, that is my problem. They said they will use part of the cathedral as a museum. which will attract tourists. My problem is we have a lot of tourist attraction sites in Ghana, and most of them are in deplorable states. Look at the road from Cape Coast to Kakum, the Kakum National Park.
Yeah.
We've not built that road. That place is giving Ghana money, a lot of money. The Cape Coast Castle, the Elmina Castle. We have so many places that we've not even tapped yet. We have waterfalls like Boti waterfalls. We don't even make noise of the natural resources, the natural tourist sites that we have in Ghana. We are not making any noise. Who cares about Bible Museum? Who cares
Yeah.
about it? Those people that you think will come and look at them, they don't even some don't even believe in the Bible. They don't even
True.
believe in God. So how do you tell somebody to come and look at something that he doesn't believe in? The year of return attracted so many people from the diaspora because they believe in that. They know that some time back the ancestors were sold to the Europeans. So they came to look at the Cape Coast Castle, the gate of no return, the dungeons, and everything about the slave trade. It's something attractive. We should make more noise about those things instead of building a cathedral to bring fake things that are not original and expect people to come and see them to make money out of it. Go to Insulenzu. We could have make a lot of noise about Insulenzu and people would troop in there. We could have make a lot of noise about Boti Falls. Some people are living in Koforidua, they don't even know Boti Falls. We have the Fiema Monkey Sanctuary. How many people are going there? Even Ghanaians. We have a lot of tourist attraction sites that we need to revamp. We have to resource the tourist board and give them the necessary support so that they can attract people. If you go to Dubai, they are making a lot of money out of artificial things that they've created.
Yeah.
We have the natural things, yet we are still poor. We are not making any money out of them. And you want to build a house, spend so much money that you could use to do something better for your citizens, to build a church. This is not acceptable. It's a
So
misplaced priority.
you think Africa, especially Ghana, we can talk about Ghana because that's where we are and that's where we understand the culture. Do you think uh, they misunderstand Christianity or they misunderstand religion because the manner they put effort of worshiping and do commit more time and resources on Christianity, especially these churches we normally attend, and that has also reflect on how we are going to invest in cathedral, whilst a lot of things. Do you think we have misunderstand the Christian religion or every religion that has been brought to Africa?
You see, religion on its own is not a bad thing
Yeah,
because if not religion, most people would have become drug addicts,
yeah,
armed robbers,
yeah,
all the bad vices that you can think of. But
yeah,
because of religion, it has shaped a lot of people to become good people. We've gotten so many people who are doing good because of religion. But
yeah,
as I said earlier, we have some people who are worshiping God or in religion out of ignorance. Some people are find you find some people in some religious groups, they are there not because of worshiping God, but they are there out of ignorance.
yeah,
The Bible is there for everybody to read, but the same Bible, if you take one chapter and you read, they have different meanings.
yeah,
So if you are ignorant, You allow the religion to enter your head and you refuse to use your wisdom. You don't reason because of religion.
Yeah.
So in Africa, because of the way the Christian religion was introduced, and some of the verses in the Bible itself has made us not to think for ourselves. That is the reason why we are closing factories and use the factories as churches.
True. That's
If
true.
you go to Accra right now, we have old factories. Now they've sold it to churches. And they'll go there and pray to God to get jobs. It
That's
doesn't make
true.
sense. You
That's
sell
true.
you destroy your factory that can provide job for you and create a church out of the factory and pray to God to give you a job. You are ignorant. In other
That's
jurisdictions,
true.
they place more emphasis on science instead of religion. It is
Yeah.
good to have your spiritual upbringing in a manner that will help you to relate to God, but it shouldn't be in a way that you give every credit or everything that you want to do. It should be God, 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 without you putting in an effort. God has already created everything for us in Africa. We
Yeah.
have everything, but we don't have the wisdom, the knowledge to put it in better use.
That's
So
true.
in Africa, religion is doing, I wouldn't say more harm than good, but most of the religious people are ignorant and they are not ready to learn. Whatever
Yeah.
that you say, they will tell you that you are the Antichrist. Why do you have to talk against our religion? If you talk about
That's true.
Muslims, they will get angry with you. If you talk about Christians, they will get angry with you. But the truth is, we should not depend on God 24/7. If we have the strength to do something for ourselves, we shouldn't call on God to come and do it for us.
Yeah.
If you are
Yeah.
hungry and you pray that God, I want to eat, and you have food in front of you, no spirit or no God will put the food into your mouth for you to eat. You have to make an effort.
True.
So you need religion, fine. It's help in society to reduce some vices and shape up some people to have good morals. Is good. But we don't have to depend on it for survival because it will make you dumb. It will make you unproductive. Somebody will go to all night and pray the whole night till the following morning, and the person will not be able to go and work. After
That's true.
praying, you can't put food on your table. What kind of person are you?
That's
So
true.
religion should balance. We should balance religion with our knowledge and work hand in hand with everything that we want to do. We shouldn't rely on over reliance of religion will make the country worse. People are saying that they are Christians, but if you open a factory right now, those people who call themselves Christians or Muslims will steal.
Yes, that one is true.
Yes, when they
Yeah.
go, we spend a lot of time to even pray. If you go to the offices, the ministries,
Yeah.
when in the morning, when from 8 to 8:30, you see them praying. Praying for what? You are there to work. That's not a church. When you go to our schools, every Wednesday they say worship. Time that they have to use to learn or to teach the kids. They are praying. Meanwhile, on Sunday they also go to church. So religion is good, but we are taking it out of context. We are not doing the right thing. We are being ignorant. The way we worship God in Africa, is out of ignorance. We allow God, we want God to do everything for us instead of using our brain, our wisdom, our knowledge, using science. We want God to do things for us. And it doesn't work in developed countries. Hardly will you even hear people talking about God. They will rather work and work hard instead of relying on God.
So,
Even America, their
don't you
motto is
think,
in God we trust.
do you think those who introduce us religion, especially the Christian, Christianity were introduced to especially African countries. So those who introduce the Christian religion or the Muslim religion, they introduced to us, but they didn't teach us how to do it, how to worship it, or how to serve it, or I don't know how to put
Yeah,
the
because
English,
you see,
how to practice it. Yeah,
um,
how to practice it. Yeah,
yeah, when it comes to religion and things about spirituality and stuff, what I can say is, you see, every community
yeah,
had their own way of worshiping God.
yeah. True,
If you go to Asia like India, you go to China, Japan, they have their own way of worshiping God.
that's true.
The Europeans also have their own way of worshiping God. Africans had their own way of worshiping God.
True,
Now, somebody comes to you and the person is trying to tell you that your way of worshiping is bad. So
true.
use mine. That will help you to go to heaven.
Yeah,
You see, we say having knowledge is good, but having half knowledge is worse.
that's true.
If you teach somebody how to drive halfway and you don't, the person is not able to acquire all the knowledge very well, the person will kill himself with the vehicle that he is driving. If you,
True,
there is a Bible that they call the Negro Bible. Today we are talking about cathedral. If one day we get the time to talk about spirituality and religion in Africa, we can
yeah,
go far and we can discuss it further. There is
yeah,
a Bible that we call the Negro Bible.
yeah.
It was designed to program the minds of Africans.
Yes. Oh,
So
really?
the Bible that they use to convince our ancestors to leave their religion is different from the Bible that we know today.
Oh, wow.
So the Negro Bible had it was designed in a manner that it will make the African refuse to think. So when you ask questions, how did God came to being? They will tell you this is not for your consumption. If you think about it, you go mad.
True. That's true.
And even in the Bible that we have right now, there is a chapter, I think I've forgotten it. It was saying that if you are a slave,
Yeah,
you should humble yourself to your slave master as you do to your God in heaven. So
yeah.
everything about Christianity in Africa is to make the Christian timid,
Yes,
for you not to use your mind. So they will tell you be like a sheep, but not a goat, because if you behave like a goat, you go to hell. If you behave like a sheep, you will not die. You go to heaven, because Jesus Christ is a shepherd and he loves the sheep. He said in the Bible, they have a chapter. He said, my sheep know me, they know my voice, and I know them. So the concept of the Bible for Africans is to make us timid, for us not to use our mind. So they will tell you when somebody slap your face, the left cheek, give the other one to him. When somebody borrows your coat, give the shirt to him. So everything was programmed for you to be timid, for you to be ignorant, not to ask questions, because every question that you ask, you are blaspheming God. And if you do so, you are going to die.
That's
So
true.
it is a program that they've used to keep us down so that we don't use our mind. And that is working for them. It is working. Because even if you look at our students during the National Science and Maths quiz, when they are going, you see them praying.
That's
We've
true.
we've manipulated the African to the extent that they know that without God they cannot do anything for themselves. The European that brought the Bible to you, they are the same people who brought the snap, who brought the gun and the gunpowder. When they arrive at the shores of Gold Coast, when they shoot at them, the bullets were not able to penetrate because our forefathers or our ancestors were fortified with the gods that they know. They told them, throw your gods away because they will kill you. But every god kills, including the God of Israel. He kills. Every god can kill you if you don't do the right thing.
That's true.
So if my God will kill me, I should stop worshiping my God and follow your God. Meanwhile, your God can also kill. Look at what is happening. I don't want us to go into the Gaza Israel thing.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
there is a promised land for you. Your
Yeah.
God created the land for you. Okay.
Yeah.
For instance, you are a landlord. You have your own house.
Yes.
You've given somebody one room to rent. Your son or your child is coming from abroad. Do you have to kill the tenant before your son can get a place to sleep if you
No.
are the landlord?
No,
Or
you don't have
will you
to.
tell your son go and fight with him? When you kill him, then you occupy the room. It doesn't even
No.
make sense. So
No.
why will a God who created the heaven and the earth will tell his children, go and fight these people and take
And
their land?
and he's the same God who created both.
Yes. So why should you love some group of people and leave others? Why are they so special?
That's the whole confusion. That's the whole
So the
confusion. 2 days
concept of
ago,
all religion were
yeah,
created by some people to govern this world, to manipulate people. And in Africa, because of our ancestors, we are the ones suffering most.
that's true.
Because if you
That's
look
true.
at our environment, our geographical location, there were certain things, some herbs and foods that we eat that protect us, that builds our immune system. But gradually, we are throwing those things away to embrace foreign things. That's the reason why these days somebody will be 30 years, the person will be suffering from cancer, prostrate, this, tomorrow, that. Diseases that you hardly hear of are now common in Africa
That's true.
because we don't eat what will help us. We are eating foreign foods which are giving us the diseases. We don't eat our local foods which boost our immune system. If you want to use the local medication, they will tell you it will give you kidney problem. Meanwhile, there are orthodox medicines that can also give you kidney problems.
That's true.
So our mind has been manipulated to the extent that everything African is bad, everything foreign is good.
That's it.
So if
That's it.
somebody bring a shirt from somebody buys a shirt from China, the person
Yeah.
values it more than the one that will be sold in Africa.
Yeah.
So all these things are making us um, stagnant. We can't grow, we can't develop. So
Yeah.
when it comes to religion and development in Africa, we are doing the right thing. We are doing the wrong thing. Even though religion is good, the practices are bad. The over reliance of God is making us underdeveloped. If you look at all the developed countries, hardly will you hear even a gospel music play on their airwaves.
True.
We talk about Christ Jesus every day in Ghana, in Africa, yet the sin that we preach against is increasing. People are so money conscious. They want to kill and get money. They want to steal and get money. The same people will go to church and pray to a God that they've never seen. But during the olden days, you can't go and steal somebody's money. You will die instantly. The God will judge you instantly. So
That's
people were
true.
afraid of doing bad things. You can't go to somebody's farm and steal their goats or cattle. There is a God, a river God in that community that will strike you dead or will make you stay there until the owner comes and catch you. But because of foreign spirituality and foreign religion, all these have been destroyed. At first, you can't go to a stream in your menses, but because of Christianity, they are saying, "Oh, Jesus came to die and has everything is now sanctified, so you don't need all those things." But in the Bible, it is there. It is in the Bible. If you read if you read um, there is a chapter in. I'll look for it and tell you. Even
Yeah.
when somebody dies, you are not supposed to touch the person because you will not be clean for 7 days. It is in the Bible. When a lady or a woman in her menses is supposed to go out of the house because you are unclean. It is in the Bible. And that's what the same practice that our ancestors were practicing. So in the Akan people, they say the Oban or Kwefichiri. When they build a house, they will build another one outside the main house. So when you are in your menses, that's where you go and live until you are clean or until you are out of your menses. But the
That's
Christians will
true.
tell you Jesus Christ came to die and everything is okay, which is not true. God is God and he never changes. So if he didn't like something during the time of Abraham and Moses, he doesn't like it now. Jesus Christ didn't change anything. He was just a messenger who came to preach the gospel, and that's it. The laws are still there. And our ancestors knew God. That's why we have names like Nyamidia, Nyamiche. Everything
Yes.
about God, they knew it.
And this has really drawn me to a question I want to. You realize, and recently I was asking somebody. We were told, we have a music in Ghana called Yenananom Somabo na Yede Ebesom Yo.
Yes.
So I was like, so those who don't understand, it means our ancestors were serving what do you call it?
Idols.
Gods, more idols.
I,
Our ancestors were serving idols, and now we are the ones serving the living God. So I was asking myself, so if our ancestors didn't know God, how did they came about the name, the God in the Bible, the name in local language called Onyame?
yes.
You, you,
They
you
knew
you realize
everything
that?
about God.
Yes.
They
So they were
knew it.
they were serving God.
They were serving God and they were serving Him diligently. They
that's the truth.
feared God to the extent that they didn't want to, because they respected Him. They gave God the highest of respect. And
That's
because
true.
of that, they said, oh, like for instance, if you have a president
Mm,
and you want
yeah,
to, if for instance, in your locality, there
yeah,
is there is a bad road there. You can't go to the president's office and tell him that we have our roads are no good. Come and do it for us. There is a assembly member,
yeah,
and then the assembly member also go to the assembly. Then the assembly
yeah,
will go to the region. The region will go to the minister. Then on and on to the president. There are protocols when it comes to spirituality. There are protocols. So the
that's
big
true.
God somewhere that we all don't know. Our ancestors know that, oh, the creation of this God is a living thing.
Yeah,
And since the creation has life, if we speak to the creatures created
yeah,
by this God, they can convey our message to this God that we don't see.
yeah,
So our ancestors knew God through the creation of God. So they were giving respect to rivers because there is a God in a river. They were
yeah,
giving respect to big trees because there is a God in that tree.
yeah.
And they make requests to them, and their requests were being granted. Who was Abraham praying through to God? Abraham was talking to God direct. And
Yes.
God said, Abraham is my friend. Moses was
Okay.
talking to God face to
So,
face.
can you panel? Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah,
Moses was talking to God face to face. Now we have Christ. So if you pray, you have to pray through Christ before your prayer can reach God.
yeah,
My ancestors were praying through a deity, and their prayers were being answered instantly.
yeah.
People, you can't go to somebody's house and steal and go scot free. You can't even move. They were wearing smock. When you shoot, the bullet will not penetrate.
Yeah,
The Christian man will make a bulletproof and come and sell it to you. That one you accept it. If you go to a church and they are playing our locally made drums, they will say this is a fetish church. But when they are playing a synthetic drum, you say it's a good church. That's how far our minds have been manipulated. So when it comes to spirituality and religion in Africa, we should go back to the root of our ancestors. That
yes.
that alone will minimize bad things that are going on in the country. When
That's true.
you are in the midst of people and something gets lost, when you say we leave it to God, you will never find it.
Yes.
But if you bring snap and egg and say if the person who stole my phone doesn't bring it, I'm going to curse the person who own up. That's the way of our ancestors. Instant justice.
Very true.
Instant justice.
We have to find. I don't know, like this time. We will be addressing important topics every Sunday. I think we have to do this every Sunday because it's very interesting. It's very interesting because we have to start enlightening ourselves because Africa has been talking for very long time. We have been talking. We have been complaining. We don't know how come some are blaming the democratic system, some are blaming religion, some are also blaming the attitude of the Africans. They think our attitude are not letting us move forward. Some are blaming our educational system because they think our educational system was also imposed on us by the colonial masters. So we really need to be addressing this issue because this channel was created just to help liberate Africans who are not willing to to understand the situation they find themselves, because most of the times we have been asking our questions with all these resources Africans have, with all these resources we have, with all these virgin lands we have. How come Africa can't develop? How come Africa can't feed itself? How come Africans are now running away to countries which they were supposed to come and beg us for food? Because when you think about it, we have the weather favors us, the temperature, the atmosphere,
Everything,
everything favors us.
everything,
Favors us. So
everything.
how come we have to go all the way to Europe to survive? How come a country like Ghana have to depend on aid from US or aid from Western countries before we can survive? That is something that we really need to. I really want us to dig deep on these topics where people will try to understand. And I'm also going to ask my viewers, those who are also willing to share their mind, they can send me email through uncatafricalive@gmail.com. You can send me email if you also want to share, you have ideas. If you want to share, I will invite you on this program for us to discuss about it. So today we have talked a lot, and I think it's even almost 1 hour. We have really talked, and I really appreciate the manner you have break down these cathedral issues. We also touched some more of religion. I want us to go deep in this and spirituality. Religion and spirituality. I want us to go deep. But I think we will do that next week if you have time. We can also go that line. Then after that, we will find more important topics so that we can address it. Break by break by break, for people to understand what Africa need to do, or how Africa should understand the situation we find ourselves in. And with this program, I think a lot of people are going to get enlightened, and it is going to also help them and guide them to be successful in this continent. So, Mr.
Yes.
Wonderful, I know if you have any last words, I think you can give us your last words. Then we can we can close and continue next
Well,
week.
what I would say is, as Africans, we should love what we have.
Yeah,
We shouldn't allow anybody to teach us what to do.
yeah,
We should do what we can do for ourselves and try to love ourselves more.
yeah,
Because in every continent that you go as an African,
yeah,
you are the one that they look down upon because of your skin color.
yes,
The African is not accepted or is not welcome in any continent but in Africa. And we should
very
love
true.
ourselves as an African. We have to love each other. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter where the person is coming from. So far as you are an African, you should love your fellow African. If we
very
do
true.
that, if we are able to unite,
Yeah,
we can develop ourselves and we wouldn't need the Western countries in anything because they don't have it.
very true.
Everything that they give to us, they took it from us.
Very
Everything that
true.
they are giving us now is something that they took it from us. It's a cycle. They take it from us and give it back to us. all in the name of giving us aid. So Africa
Very true.
must unite. That is the most important thing. Because if I'm a Ghanaian, I go to Ivory Coast and they harass me, where is the unity?
There's no
If I'm a
unity.
Ghanaian, I go to Togo and they harass me. If a Nigeria comes to Ghana and they harass the person, where is the unity? We've
No unity.
established a whole lot of treaties and whatnot. AU, African Union, what has come out of it? ECOWAS, what has come out of it? Because there is no unity. A Ghanaian will go to Niger and they will harass him. A Ghanaian will go to um, Cameroon and they will harass him. Cameroonian will go to Nigeria, will go to South Africa. There is no unity. And without that, we will remain as we are. Unity is the only key that will help the African continent to grow and to develop.
Very
When it
true.
comes to the spirituality and other stuff, as you said, we will talk about that later. Maybe next week, we will talk
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
so that we enlighten ourselves. The African needs to the brain or the mentality of the African needs recalibration
Very true. Very true.
because the things that we've consumed from our childhood up to now, it wouldn't take 1 year or 2 years. It will take us some time, some years. So we should begin from the young ones that are coming. We should let them know that you don't need a God to help you do something. You need knowledge because God has given you the wisdom that you need. You and the Chinese, the Japanese, the European, the American, you are all creation of God. God created every one of you. So why is that they are able to manufacture cars and you can't do same? Why is that they can do a complex surgery and you can't do same? So your leaders, when they are sick, they fly to America, to Europe to take care of themselves. We need to recalibrate our minds. Our mindset must change and Africa must unite. By so doing, we can be like the developed countries and we wouldn't be moving around the world to do jobs that are not supposed to be done by human beings.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
So Africa must unite, and with that, we can move forward. Thank you very much for having me on your channel.
Oh, okay. You are welcome. You are welcome. You have really enlightened us on this particular issue. So those who are watching us and haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification button so that anytime we will bring a program like this to you, this enlightening program like this to you, you are going to receive a notification and you'll be the first person to get here before any other person. So thanks, Mr. Daniel Vanderpoy. I'm expecting us to come here again next week so that we will also come with different topic to enlighten people on important issues that are affecting Africa. So thanks you for coming. And I know next week too, you are going to get time to join us on this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.